And there we go. Happy Friday, everybody. Streaming from my home this evening. We on my phone. Still don't have internet, but hey, we're going to make it work. We've got all sorts of stuff to talk about. We've got wonderful, fun things like fights in the parks and an issue at Sesame Place. And my computer making all sorts of noise. There we go. And all sorts of things. So let's get rolling and let's see if we can't cover all of this. It's fun working this off the phone and trying to find these little buttons and hit the right ones. Yeah, the last show be first tonight. Nice, Brendan. So, yes, I am working on the phone. So you're going to see me doing a lot of this. That's because that's where all my chat buttons and stuff are. Thank you for the bedroom colors, Drew. Yeah, you can actually see both colors there. We finally got our last bedroom painted tonight. So it's actually looking good. So we're slowly getting stuff at the house done. There is, I will talk a little bit about some of the other progress at the house tonight. I hope the sound is okay. I see Parker's saying something about echo. I hope you're talking about the chat and not about the sound. But we will talk a little bit about that and some of the updates. I did find out today we're still looking at least another week and a half on internet. But yeah, all sorts of different things. Teresa just happened to be scrolling through YouTube and caught me in time. Hey, good timing there, Teresa. And look, there it is. I can actually do some of this. I wasn't sure how much I get to do on the phone, but a lot of it is still available. So as long as I can see it. Oh, and by the way, I do have a special guest joining me a little bit later too. But let me jump into all of these different news items that people have been asking me about and see if I can cover some of them. The first thing has been all these fights at the parks. We know that Knott's Berry Farm had a huge one. Good evening, Richard and Mariah and Tom and everybody. Knott's Berry Farm had a big fight back on the 16th of July. So almost 2 weeks now. Lots of junior high school age kids. And the word is that TikTok really kind of helped fuel this to the point where they had to shut the park down and close it, chase everybody out, have the police come. And then, of course, if you've been watching, you'll notice that Magic Kingdom has had a fight back on the 19th over at Fantasyland. They had another argument and that turned into a near fight at the transit center with people getting on the tram 4 days ago. And so your first thought is, why are there so many fights? Well, let me give you one before I get into the repercussions of Knott's. First, a little newsflash. This isn't new. These things have been happening for years. And if you look back at the history of the parks, you'll see that many, many theme parks have had issues with fights in the past. Magic Mountain did back in the 90s, in 2000s. A couple times they had to close the park down. I know Great America's had it in the past. Six Flags America last September had a huge one. So did Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in California. And you go further back, Six Flags Great America and Great Adventure, both of them, back in the early 2000s, had issues with fights. It even goes so far back to Disneyland back in the 80s and 90s when they had Videopolis. It was a big dance club. They had issues with the fights at that. So what's the difference? Well, everybody's got these little cell phones now. They're pulling it out and recording the video and posting it online. So you hear a lot more about them than you did in the past because they go viral. What happened at Fantasyland, most people probably would not have known about, except that somebody posted video. And so there it is. Had a fight, Six Flags St. Louis. Yep. So it happens. It's not new. It's just all of this stuff gets posted on the internet and everybody knows about it that way. What's new is finally Knott's Berry Farm has stepped up and said, okay, it's time to do something about it. Yeah, there it. Okay, won't do that to you yet, Craig. Knott's Berry Farm instituted a chaperone policy. And my first thought was, it's about time. So now, if you go on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, they've made a couple adjustments already. If you are under 17, you have to have a 21-year-old or older chaperone take you into the park. And that chaperone can only take 4 people under age 17. So, and then they have to stick with them the whole time. They can't drop them off and leave them. They have to be with them. So that means people have to be escorted now. If they catch kids running around the park without an adult chaperone on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, they'll kick them out of the park. I'm like, it's about time. This should have happened years ago. And I don't know why Knott's had to be the first one, and it just happened. I can guarantee you there's a lot of parks watching this, keeping their eye on it, and trying to figure out, okay, do we do the same thing? How is it going to work? And what I'm hearing so far is that it's working pretty well. And Knott's is actually talking about expanding the number of days. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on, especially as we head into September and October, and you get all our Halloween events, which tend to have people get obnoxious. But honestly, I think it's going to be a good thing. And honestly, parks have been used in the past as babysitters. They shouldn't be. They really shouldn't be. And I understand why some want to do that. And there's some kids that are really good at the parks, but yeah, others. So it's going to be interesting. Keep an eye on it. Oh, great. And then we have to go and just throw everything off. Megan makes it. Okay. No, I got to give Megan a bad time. But overall, I'm looking forward to seeing how it works out. I'm hoping that this does work for Knott's. They'll fine tune it, and I fully expect to see others come up. And some of you are already bringing up other stuff I'm going to get to. Don't worry. But next thing I want to talk about Sesame Place, and I'll be talking about Silver Dollar City here and what's coming up, D23 Expo, and several other things. But can I throw the news headlines out first? Sesame Place up in Pennsylvania. If you don't know, it's a Sesame Street themed amusement park. They had an incident, a week, 2 weeks ago, where one of the characters, a couple of little girls were up trying to say hi to her as she's doing the parade, and she greets the kids next to her, high-five them, kind of told these 2 girls no, and then there's actual video now showing her greeting the next kids after them. So what's the big deal? Well, the 2 that she skipped were black, and then the kids on either side of her were white. My first thought when I first heard it was, well, maybe she didn't see them because the vision in them is not good. Maybe she had to move down the parade route and get moving to keep up with the floats, because that happens. Maybe there was something else going on. And then this new video came out, and it's kind of like, that's really not a good look, because she's greeting everybody, skipping this one, greeting the others. And then there was another video that came out of some other kids that had a very similar thing happen to them. And just not a good look. Sesame Place has apologized for it. And yeah, it's just one of those things that it's kind of frustrating, because it's kind of things shouldn't be doing that. Then what frustrates me, okay, it looks like we definitely have an issue. Let's deal it. Thank you, Mr. Cool Kid, with the pull cord. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, don't pull the pull cord. It'll go beep. But yes, it does sound like that there's an ongoing issue. Whether it's the same performer, whether it's multiple, that we don't know, because we haven't heard from the person in the costume, and we won't. Where I do struggle is with the lawsuit. Okay, we got an issue. The issue can be fixed, whether it's discipline, whether it's retraining, whether it's awareness. Okay, let's deal with the issue here. The lawsuit, to me, $25 million. Hey, let's turn it into a class action. Let's try to get all these other people in. The lawsuit's not going to fix the issue. and I just struggle. The lawsuit to me sounds like a money grubbing. Really, it's a lawyer thing to get more money because that money's not going to go to the families that farm. It's going to go into the lawyers' pockets. And so I really struggle with that. This fan is asking, get the right comment. What's the difference between Sesame Place and Sesame Street Land? Sesame Street Land is an area inside SeaWorld. Sesame Place is the whole park. So if you take that land in SeaWorld and make it a whole park, and that's what's up in Pennsylvania. And yeah, I really struggle with this lawsuit. I think that this is a bogus suit, to be totally honest. It's a legit issue, but I really don't like the lawsuit. Let's deal with the actual issue. Let's fix the issue. Because there's something wrong here. But yeah. Now, is this lawsuit going to end up getting paid out that much? Nope. What's going to end up actually happening is the lawsuit's going to get settled because Sesame Place is going to want this thing to just go away. Busch Parks wants it to disappear. They will settle the lawsuit to make it disappear. They'll put some sort of order on there so people can't talk, and the lawyers are going to walk away with millions of dollars. And that's pretty much what's going to happen, I would expect. So, bad situation, something I really wanted to defend what was going on, and then I saw it, and it was just like, yeah. So, I hope they can fix it. I hope they can deal with it, because it's definitely something that needs to be dealt with. And then we had news come out of Silver Dollar City this last week. So, let's see. And Suzanne just said, when you see a longer version of the video, they're hugging black kids. Not so sure it's anything more than having to keep moving. And see, that was my first thought, Suzanne, except when you see this other video, they greet the couple white kids, tells them no to the next ones, and then you see them go immediately to the kids next to them and do the greeting with them. And it was just like, oh, wow. So yeah, they might have got some earlier on the route, but it's very obvious that they skipped these two kids when there wasn't any reason to. So I really wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt, but then that other video came and it was just like, oh. And again, I don't know what's going on with the person in the costume. I don't know what they were thinking. It's hard for me to sit there and say, yeah, they were meaning to be racist. I don't want to say that, but there does seem to be something that happened there. So, and then Silver Dollar City on July 20th had some very sad news come out. They had one of their maintenance and construction workers, they're the maintenance guys who keep track of things, that was seriously injured on the 20th and passed away from their injuries the next day. What little bit has been released is that they were injured while taking care of a roller coaster before the park opened. And we know that OSHA is investigating. It's a 6-month investigation. The park has not released any other information. I did talk to several people. I do have some information. I'm not going to release anything that has not already come out in the news. There's a few reasons for that. One, privacy and respect for the family. It's really sad what's happened. The park was a very close-knit, the park is a close-knit family. Anybody working at M&C knows each other, and so it's really hard. So they're not going to release that. They may not know yet exactly what happened or why or how it happened. And so it's really hard to, for them to release things if they don't exactly know what happened. It was before the park opened. It was part of the procedures. And so we don't know yet. The other thing that has been kind of out there that came out in one article was, why didn't Silver Dollar City call the public paramedics and then have them come in? And it's because Silver Dollar City's first aid group are paramedics and EMTs. They are as highly qualified as the ones on the trucks. They were on the scene already. The first thing they did when they realized the seriousness of the injuries was they called in the helicopter. If they had waited until the EMTs on the ambulance got there and then called in the helicopter, it was just a lot of time that would have been wasted that didn't need to be wasted. So there's a lot we don't know, but I would say please remember the family, remember Silver Dollar City employees. He was well known, he was liked, and that's about all I can say there. Just a tough deal. Like I said, I talked to several people, and it's just a hard thing. Chris, let's see here. Did they ever release which coaster happened at? No, they have not given any other information. I know, but I'm not going to comment on that because I don't feel like it would be appropriate for me. But no, they didn't do it. So yeah, let's see here. Tom, so sad to hear about it and other injuries that happen before parks. Always difficult to deal with. Yeah. And like I said, especially when we don't know what happened with this and if it was preventable or not. So, Crazy Mike, color does not matter. We're all human. Yes, I fully agree with that. So, color only matters when you're painting. Yeah, it certainly does. But yeah. And yes, and then Craig mentions, and color might matter some if it's a YouTuber half in front of a green screen and makes him look blue. That was frustrating. So that's kind of the big news that has been out there. That has been the stuff that's been talked about. That's kind of my take on those. Like I said, in several of the cases, we don't know all the details. We can guess. I try not to guess too much when I just don't know. Because then they end up doing like Brendan here. He goes, "I'm blue." Da, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, da. Okay, and on that note, he's going to really hate me for this now, but I think I'm going to bring in my guest. So here is Craig.
Hi, everybody.
So I wanted to bring Craig in for a couple of reasons. One, because being on the phone, the chat is hard to follow. Craig is kind of helping me moderate a little bit with it. So he's kind of looking for some of the comments that I might miss and questions and things like that. The other thing, it should be fun if you guys get to see him. On my phone, he looks like he's playing Max Headroom. But looks like he's on the stream okay. But the other reason I want to bring Craig in is because coming up in September, let's see if we can get the dates right. It's the 9th, 10th, and 11th, I believe.
That sounds right.
Yep. There's this thing going on in Anaheim called the D23 Expo. Think Comic-Con, but just Disney. And so it is huge, and I'm going to be out there. Suzanne, did you ever get to Carowinds? No, I will come to that in a little bit. I will talk about what's happening with that. But yes, September D23 Expo is coming up. I am excited. Before it starts, I will be spending one day at Disneyland and one day at California Adventure. We've got 3 days of Expo, which is going to be tons of fun. Very much looking forward to that. So let's see. Drew just commented that he became a member of D23 last week. Woo.
Very nice, Drew.
They have, let's see, you've got the Disney Studios session where they're announcing all the new movies and stuff coming up. There's a park session where they'll be talking about what's happening in the parks. Those are the two big ones, if I understand. They're the ones that if you can't get a reserved seat in, you're supposed to wait at like 3 in the morning or have no chance to get in. I don't know that I'm going to be up at 3 in the morning. We'll see. The Disney Legends are getting announced. So all sorts of stuff. The thing I'm excited about, not just being at Expo and shopping with no money, but well, hey, we'll figure something out. But we will be. Yeah, I know. If you're there, definitely look for me. I will be on a scooter. Just because I really don't want to be walking around going, that's just not fun for anybody.
But what do we do singing?
Well, see, if I'm in the scooter, I can sing just fine.
Then that's the thought that I just had, that maybe scooters aren't such a good thing.
Yeah, they're a great thing, especially with all the sing-alongs that'll be happening. Let's see, what's that meme that's been going around lately? If you don't like musicals because you don't think people randomly break into song, hey, I like musicals.
That's fair.
Yeah. I will have a couple giveaways with me. one thing, this is actually going to get mailed out to all my patrons once I get a chance here. I got little stickers. Yay! I've got actually 2 packages of these. I don't know where my other package is yet. I haven't unpacked them. But those are going to be getting mailed out to my patrons here pretty soon, and I will have a small stack of them. Craig, he's not going to make it. He's not gonna... That's great. But I'm excited about that. I am also making plans. I would love to get together with other YouTubers that are there, so I'm hoping to be able to get some collabs to happen with it. Meets, if you see me, say hi. Also, I'm hoping with my other venture to be able to book a couple speaking engagements on the Wednesday and Sunday afterwards. And if I can do those, then I will probably be at Knott's Berry Farm on Tuesday. Hoping we can get all of that worked out and expenses and everything. But the plan is to go from Disney, probably be at downtown Disney on the Monday afterwards, hopefully shoot some collabs and stuff, then hop over, do Knott's on Tuesday, take a train up to where I'm hoping to speak, and then I might visit family. If it works out and I end up seeing my sister, I might even end up at like the San Diego Zoo or something else with her. We'll see. Then she gets to see me go crazy with filming and complain the whole time. So that's kind of what's coming up in September. So if you're going to be there, please let me know.
I'll be there.
Yeah, and then Craig will be there because Craig is the one that's helping make this all happen for me. So he's my buddy. Although the truth is, even if Craig didn't give me a dime, he'd still be my buddy.
Aw,
I just wouldn't sing as much. Yeah, now I got you thinking. But very much looking forward to that. Let's see. Parker Odell, Discovery Kingdom or SeaWorld San Diego? Discovery Kingdom is up in the north. It's in the Bay Area. So it will be SeaWorld San Diego or the San Diego Zoo. It depends on what she wants to do. And if she wants to do either one, she may not want to do either one. So we will see. But I'm hoping that it will work out, that I can end up doing something else. So there's still lots to plan on the trip, and the biggest thing is if I can get a couple places to speak on that Wednesday and that Sunday to make extending the trip worth it. If I can't get any place to book, then I come home on Monday. So help me find a place to speak. Okay. And then Suzanne had asked about Carowinds. So this is my other kind of big news thing before I get to the couple packages and hit questions. So if you remember, beginning of the year, I was all gung-ho about my quest for 400 and traveling around. And then you may have noticed, and Craig got to see this in person, that my health kind of took a little bit of a hit after the one trip, which has made it a little harder for me to get around. So hence the scooters that I've been using now, so I can actually last longer, as opposed to wiping out early because I can't breathe. I just want to breathe. Let me breathe. So that kind of slowed it down a little bit. And then buying the house and moving and all that kind of stuff ended up sucking up a couple months. And then the one that was so generous to let me fly is changing jobs, which means that my flight privileges, at least for a little bit, are going bye-bye. So I'm kind of going... because the hope was to get to Carowinds, and right now that's not going to happen. I'm waiting to see about Japan in October. I still don't know if Japan's going to open up to tourists or not yet, individual tourists. And I'm hoping somehow a door might open, if it does, to catch a standby ticket with somebody. But we will see if that works out or not. A actual plane ticket right now was running $1,600 to $2,000 round trip, which is definitely not in the budget. So, but I'm still kind of going, okay, let's have something work out for Japan, maybe somehow. So that's kind of what's going on there. So, and let's see, Mr. Henry, you were over on Brian Hull's live stream. Everybody's live streaming tonight. It's just one of those nights. So.
Try to get those end of month numbers in for Patreon, and
and take the train to Japan. I wish I could. I will take the train if I get to Japan, but so that's kind of all the news. That's lots of news. I'm like out of breath just from sharing all that stuff. Hopefully I didn't work Craig out. So
good so far.
Yeah, and
Hopefully
Suzanne, I think
don't have to
Japan over
bring on.
Carowinds. Yeah, this is the one thing is if I can get Japan to happen, my daughter's already getting stuff put into place to go to Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea and one or two other things. There's stuff that we can do in Japan. It's just trying to figure out how to get it there. So hopefully, hopefully. And that's of course, and while sometimes I might sit there and go, oh yeah, let's try and figure out how to pay for the ticket. We've got our basement and stuff to pay for. So, and there's a chance, just letting y'all know, I might show you what's going on with that. We do have a date for the fix of the basement finally, and hoping that will work out. Oh, Sir Dufferson has one. Did you see the video where the two dogs were helping rob the train? Yes, I actually did. This was nuts. So they're out there, they're doing the train robbery, and these two brown lab mixes come walking out in the middle of the show, greeting the robbers and everything. I've never seen this. I don't know where these dogs came from. It's literally in the middle of the woods, and there's nothing. What are these dogs doing out there? But yeah, it kind of killed the robbery. Yeah, that was really funny. But yeah, so anyways, let's keep hoping. Yeah, TT Rail Media. They came from behind the show. Yeah, but there's nothing behind the show. It's just all out in the woods. There's nothing there. It's weird. I don't know. Weird, really weird. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Let me catch the mail. I'll be watching for questions. Craig's here to watch for questions and feed other things and give me songs to sing. And so
No. Oh, hold on. No songs. No singing.
Okay, TTT Rail Media. There's train tracks behind the show. Okay, so the way the train works at Silver Dollar City is it actually goes on this loop on one side of the robber shack, comes back around, and then back in front of the shack again. So these dogs came from somewhere else. There are paths that go off down into the woods all the way down to the lake and stuff, but the dogs wouldn't have been out there. There's no place to keep dogs out there. So it's really strange. So no idea. So let's see. He's got a lovely bunch of packages. So, all right. So let me get a couple of these things. Since Craig is on here, I'll open up the one from him first. And Brendan's really wanting me to sing that horrible song. Okay. That it? There's no gift tag. Am I sure this is from you?
I can give you the tracking number if you want.
Okay, so here, this will be here. Oh, come to the dad's. Oh, I like that one. I will definitely wear that one. Okay, so one thing, if y'all haven't seen, by the way, my closet back there, I finally got some stuff unpacked. The whole top shelf is filled with shirts, thanks to Craig and Barry. So, but that's cool. If I'd done that, I could have worn that one tonight. That's an awesome shirt. Let's see. Catch a couple of these others. This one is from get my name right here. Larry Potter. It's like I know the name, not Harry Potter, Larry Potter. And it's actually something he ordered and talked to me about. At least I'm pretty sure that's what this is. So y'all know I don't work at the parks anymore, but I now have a new name tag. Let's see if we can get this up there. How is that? So that's nice. Forever and always, cast members. That is cool. So this one's called a fancy pin. So it's not an official Disney pin. And it's made by Chalice Creative. So there you go. So, yep, and it says a gift from Larry. That's very cool, though. I like that. That's nice. Thanks, Larry. Let's see.
Glad you approved, Teresa.
Yeah. Yes. It's cool, Frank. Let's see here. Moving your daughter from Orlando to Glendale. Wow. That is a crazy move. She doesn't miss PhotoPass already. Oh, that's so sad to me. PhotoPass was such an amazing place to work, and Disney, it's not so nice anymore, which is sad. Crazy Mike, how are the pets adjusting to the new house? They're doing very well. We built my cats a catio. Basically, we have side door that wasn't going to be used, and so we actually bought this enclosure, put a pet door in, and put the enclosure right next to the door, so the cats can go outside without wandering away. So,
Isn't that turtle right behind you, though?
yeah, Turtle's sleeping there. Let's see. There you go. Can't see her. Sandy is the one who's really been loving the catio because she was not allowed outside at all before. So she's loving this. Let's see here. Oh, Parker, thanks for teaching me about fake pins. There's a TikTok hack about buying pins off of eBay. Don't buy pins off eBay and lots. No. Okay. So, see if I can pick this up. If you want to know who to buy pins from, buy them from this person, Emily Budney, also known as Pinderella. Real pins, real stuff.
Now I want to sing Pinderelli, Pinderelli.
Pinderelli.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So of course I'm a big Tower of Terror fan, so I had to get that one. This is the last of the 50th collection that I did not have. And then I got a couple anniversary packs. And I got a couple people that are trying to lead me into areas in those questions that I won't go. We don't do politics on my channel. I will just let you know that. So, oh, yes. And then Megan, rest in peace, the Tower of Terror sign. That was very sad. Not happy about it. I understand why. It was like 20 years old, but gee whiz. Just to tear it down and leave nothing. Let's see here. And let's see if we can get this package open. So this is the other anniversary set. It's mystery pins. And for whatever reason, anytime I get this set, I tend to get this guy here or this guy in the middle. I've literally gotten 3 of them. And I keep trying to get pigments. I haven't gotten pigment. So let's see if we get some pigments.
What was that top one? Smart one?
Yes. So we got a Remy. Hey, that's actually one I have not gotten yet.
Nice.
And that one's okay. I've gotten him before. So if you don't know, that is the guy from Muppet Vision 3D. I'm trying to remember what his name is. I should know this.
Waldo.
Thank you.
The spirit of 3D.
Yes, the spirit of 3D. Like, I should know that. I got that whole show practically memorized.
So you say.
Well, if I'm there, I can definitely. Okay, so my second box, guess what? So
that's
this,
milk from Food Rocks, isn't it?
Yep. And this, I guarantee, will probably be the other one because they always seem to come together. Oh, no. So, not necessarily one I want, but Madame Leota. So at least it's something different. So, it's a glorious 3-hour finale. 3-hour finale, saluting all nations, but mostly America.
Got a minute and a half.
Love that. That's one show. I know its time is dated. It's going to go, especially since it's right in the middle of Star Wars. But man, I'm going to miss when it goes. So,
yeah, but at least they did some plussing recently. So
yes, yeah, they did actually
that
add
was
some
good to see.
effects to it. The smoke coming out of his wheels, that was new. So, let's see. Cheese Railway Lines. Silver Dollar City after shop was burnt to a crisp. That's funny. It was the pork pork rinds, which they're crispy. Okay. Anyways, trash can I caught on fire. Wasn't a trash can. It was actually the pork rind fire. But yes, that whole part of the park is still pretty much empty. So they do have some plans to rebuild, but no idea when. So let's see. No Figment on the West Coast. No, he is an Epcot deal. They do have Orange Bird. It's because the Orange Bird actually started off at the Tiki Room at Disneyland, right? Craig?
Orange Bird started in Florida from
Did he
the
start in
Florida
Florida?
Orange Growers outside at Sunshine Tree Terrace.
Okay, I was thinking he was a California thing because
I don't believe so.
Disneyland was built orange groves too. Here's a nice trivia question. Did you know that they're both in Orange County? So, okay, so my last package. This is okay. So I was talking about D23. So when you join D23 Gold, $100 a year, you get your little package every year. Now, okay, so I'll do a commercial for them. If you're a Disney fan, that $100 a year, you figure in the package, you figure in the magazines you get, it pays for itself compared to the price of pins and stuff in the park. And then, like going to the D23 Expo, you get a discount on tickets as a gold member. I think there's a free print that we're supposed to get, and some other stuff.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so you get some extras. And, okay, so we'll open up the box. Something just fell out of the box. So, my new D23 Gold card, which I might want that on the trip. I have the digital version, too. So you open up the box, and let's see here. Greg has probably seen this already because I bet he got his. So we've got a box passport. And then, okay, so now, again, think about the price of pins. There is 7 pins. If you win $10 a pin, actually, these would probably be $12 pins. So there's at least $70 to $90 worth of pins right off the bat. Ooh, hey, look, I've just about paid my membership already. Those are cool looking pins, too. I like those. That's a nice looking set. What's in our passport around the world? See if we can. Yeah, we got to cut it open. I don't want to cut it open. Here we go. Okay, so inside, ooh, that's actually nice. It's a luggage tag. And then another pin with the pilot's wings. I'm going to just drop it and make a mess. But yeah, that's a nice metal luggage tag. I won't use it. I'll leave it in that. But so, and then a little passport there with all sorts of facts and stuff. They really send out some nice stuff. The magazines are very cool. I really like the D23 magazine. They're very cool. Okay, so there's that. Did I miss anything, Craig?
Just some more talk on Orange Bird.
Okay, so did I have it wrong? He's from Florida originally?
Yeah. Disney for the Florida Citrus Commission, and then did hang out at Adventureland at Magic Kingdom. And the article I've quickly pulled up says Sunshine Tree Terrace and near the Tiki Room. So kind of between.
Okay. I was okay. I was thinking, with the Dole Whips and stuff, he would have been over Adventureland, Disneyland. So it's that nice little deal about mixing up Disneyland, Disney World, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
Most magical place, happiest place, things like that. We do have a comment on SDC in a few weeks, and happy that the saloon show is back.
Yes, and in the saloon, there you go. Saloon show is, they've had the saloon show the whole time, but it's been an outdoor theater. Now it's actually in the saloon again. So yes, that was great. They're an actor sticky to map to your face. That would be different. Okay. Let's see. Did you know that Don Bluth worked on both Sleeping Beauty and Sword in the Stone early in his career? It's amazing how many people from DreamWorks and Pixar and stuff did all this Disney stuff before people knew it. So, Suzanne, how has your health affected your ability to ride coasters? It's affected my ability to get to the coaster, but not on it. As my doctor put it, stress and strain bad, adrenaline good. It stresses your heart in a different way, and the pumping from the adrenaline is a good thing for my heart condition. but straining it and stressing it is not. So riding coasters is a good thing, but just right now, until we fully figure out what is going on with my breathing stuff, that's making it harder. And because we're in the middle of changing jobs and stuff, I won't get medical insurance until September 1st. So then we will, then I'll be back in the docket saying, figure this out. I'm tired of this. So hopefully by end of September, we can have something figured out and understand and try to get it dealt with so I can be walking normal again.
Did we miss the D23 question from DizFan9212 about the Parks panel and Mapo?
About what?
The Parks panel, and if there will be any announcements about Mary Poppins attraction?
As far as I know, the Mary Poppins attraction, here we go. There we go. I believe the Mary Poppins attraction has been completely canceled. So that is what little bit I've heard. I would not expect to hear anything on it. And from what I heard, the plan for it wasn't much anyways. It was a small double-decker carousel. I would have fitted very nicely in the back of it, but it wasn't meant to be anything huge. But that along with their event center and beer garden are gone. And there's other things that they were going to do that I believe they're gained the play center, which was going to take place in the old, oh gosh, the one pavilion that's sitting there empty and doing nothing.
Wonders of Life.
Yeah, Wonders of Life. I believe that's also off the chart too. So,
I think they should do a Mary Poppins themed video overlay to Body Wars.
That would be.
And you dive inside her carpet bag and see what all is inside it or something.
That's kind of funny. And then Parker, planning to go to Kennywood. Steel Curtain has a weight limit of 315 pounds over. Okay, they're not going to weigh you to get on, but it probably means those restraints are going to have a hard time fitting you. And Steel Curtain's restraints are a little bit tight and awkward anyways. I can't say for sure one way or the other, but it would probably be hard. I would say you've got probably a pretty good chance of not fitting on it. So, sorry, Parker.
Speaking of weight limits, can you think of any other coasters besides the roller coaster at Idlewild that actually do weigh you before you can get on?
That's actually, I think that's the first time I've ever actually had to step on a scale. So that was different, definitely.
For the record, we had to ride in different rows.
Different rows, yeah. We couldn't ride together because it was too much weight. And it affected how many people they allowed on the train.
Yep.
Yeah, that was odd. The roller coaster at Idlewild is just odd for several reasons.
It was fun, though.
Yeah, it was a neat coaster.
It had massive, huge drops like, you and lots of other people like. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
Brandon mentions being weighed before the coaster simulator. Yeah, I've been weighed on simulators and zip lines and some of those kinds of things. But I think roller coaster is the only one I've ever actually been weighed to get on, which was different. So, the bobsled coaster Knoebels weighs you. I didn't know that. It was closed when we were there for lack of staffing. So, but that would make sense. Just because the way it operates, I could definitely see that. But yeah, so there's two then, bobsleds and roller coaster. And hey, they're pretty close too. Tweetsy, is that the man, the myth, the legend, Craig?
Yes, I am.
It's just Craig.
I'm not a myth. I guess I'm not a myth. I suppose legend. I'm not a Disney legend or anything like that. So okay, fair enough. I'll just be Craig.
Although I will say before we started, I did think about possibly bringing in Megan, but we thought that might be kind of overwhelming for everybody. So, and she was working tonight anyways. So, would I like to see an expansion of World Showcase? Yes. Okay, so this is a good question. Let's say you could add 2 countries to the World Showcase. Who would you add? I said, what would you do, Craig?
Um, that's a really good question. Some of the things I've heard, floated as a possibility, like an Israel pavilion, could be interesting, but the potential political implications, I would hope
Yeah.
if they would ever try that, it would go smoothly. A more full-fledged Africa pavilion
Mhm.
instead of just the trading post could be nice.
Yes.
Although you've got a crossover with that with a lot of Animal Kingdom. So, um, what would be the most interesting?
You hit the couple. The other one I think would be nice would be Argentina.
Hmm.
Uh, Mexico's nice, but I'd love to get further south or Spain.
If we could get the rights from Weber, go with Argentina and have a little Evita stage show, and that could be a lot
Yep.
of fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Parker, I would add Mongolian and Netherlands. They've got the Netherlands. No, they don't. They have Norway. They have Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an N. Yeah, because I'm mixing up the ice and the flowers.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah, that would definitely be interesting. Have I ever been on the original Coney Island Cyclone? That was one of the places I was definitely going to go this year, and stuff happened. That was definitely on my list. But yeah, one of these days. Let's see. So other pavilions, Brazil's another one that there's enough people to come from Brazil. I think that would be great.
Would they put away their flags while they were there?
I don't know. Italy could have the gondola ride. So could you tie the Italy Pavilion into the Skyway somehow? Could be interesting.
Well, I think they're talking about the boat gondolas and push with a stick.
Well, of course, Italy. Actually, there is an Italy Pavilion already. That. Yes, and it does have some of the gondola boats sitting in the water right by. So,
but what about adding a coaster to the Japan Pavilion, like the Mount Fuji coaster?
That was actually originally supposed to be there.
Right. Do you think that would have been better than Cosmic Rewind for an Epcot coaster?
Yes, it would have fit. Yep. Would have loved to do that. If you wonder what we talk about, if you go into the Japan Pavilion and you walk all the way to the back and go past the two samurai on the horses, that was supposed to be the entrance to the ride. But let's see. Krishna, Brazil's always been rumored. I think Russia belongs. Yep. Russia would be, well, that's probably not going to happen right now. But Russia, I think, would be a great fit as well. There's several countries that you could add to it that I think would be awesome. Yes, I am partial to Israel. So now, Benazir, Ireland and or Scotland, they're already represented in the UK. So they do actually have representation in it. Particularly Scotland, it actually has a couple things specifically for it there. But yeah, they're part of the UK pavilion.
And they usually have some regional foods at Flower and Garden and Food and Wine.
Yep. No, this would be a good one. A Greece pavilion.
Yeah.
That would be a great one. And then Crazy Mike mentions Egypt. That would see, you could do
so Emperor's New Groove versus Hercules. Maybe have them next to each other and get both.
Yeah. Now Finland, that one to me would be too similar to Norway because they are right next to each other.
I would want the fish slapping song from Monty Python if we had a Finland pavilion.
That would be hilarious. That would be absolutely hilarious. Does Merida meet at the UK Pavilion? She meets over at Magic Kingdom at the Castle Courtyard. At least last time I was there. So,
yeah, her meet and greet location is still there at least.
Yeah. Parker, what's next? The geisha at Disney? Don't tell Mulan she's a geisha. Oh, I did watch her start to pull out the kung fu on somebody. Oh, Brendan Neely. Yeah, Nineveh with the fish slappers. Yeah, so do you do the Monty Python fish slappers or the VeggieTales fish slappers?
alternating sets, kind of like they do in France with the Beauty and the Beast sing-along versus the original movie.
Yeah, or we could just skip the Beauty and the Beast sing-along and we order the Frozen sing-along again.
Now, that's going to depend on who's doing the singing and who's doing the shouting.
Yeah, so who wants to yell out Puddle? Yep. Brendan.
Exactly. Now, the attention from that was great. Hopefully people have seen the Magic Kingdom video.
Yeah. Puddle, and if you don't know what we're talking about, go look at the Magic Kingdom. So, oh yeah, so of course, if we need the dancers, you just get the Chippendales. Yeah, okay. Megan. Poor Megan. Anything of the Frozen sing-along. How could you not have seen Frozen? By the way, my wife is still waiting for you to come over and watch Frozen with her. So.
Oh, you haven't done that yet?
No, she still hasn't done that. So, and Brendan, I did stumble upon an old video showing me doing it. I don't know what you're talking about, Brendan. I would never yell out Puddle in the middle of a show and offend people.
Poor Olaf. Although, hold on, you offending people and a sing-along. If you go in and participate,
I don't know what you're talking about. Next thing I know, you're going to be accusing me of singing along with Country Bears.
Oh no. Megan, can you try and get him to stop since you didn't like Country Bears?
All the better, because she got to sit next to me. There was.
Oh no. Many cringe-worthy moments if you're at a park with Sir Willow.
James, have you ever seen the Petersons in Branson? Have I ever seen the Petersons in Branson? You mean these people? Them? I have no idea who they are. Yeah. I was actually at the show Tuesday night. So, okay, so I tell people about sponsoring me on Patreon. I was actually one of their very first sponsors when they joined Patreon. If you want a great bluegrass group that actually does a mixture of modern pop and stuff too, check the Petersons out. They are amazing. Brendan will tell you, Brendan's also one of their patrons. Great group. If you're in Branson, come see them. Tell them Sir Willow sent you. We've actually got a big Patreon get-together with them coming up in October. Stuff. So, yeah, it'll be... They're one of my favorites. I love the Petersons. Absolutely. Parker, do the Duttons have a good show? Yes, but they are on hold right now because they had a small fire at their theater. Just the entry area, but they're still trying to get it fixed out. So, Sights and Sound is amazing. And, of course, Brendan, you mentioned the Petersons. So Brendan's like, so if you know anything about the Petersons, Brendan is Matt's fan club. That's about it. Just Brendan. Although they did have somebody stand in for him Tuesday night. But, yeah, Brendan. Brendan and Matt. But, no, they are a great group. And wonderful people, too. They really are.
At Tweetsy, we talked about the 2 stray dogs earlier in the stream.
Yep, we did. Caught them earlier. Anything else that you can think of? Or anybody else?
2023, are you thinking about any trips then?
2023. Well, there are some things possibly happening. Let's see. Oh, Parker, also a big fan of the Presleys. Yep, they are great. And actually, with my new job, I'll come back to 2023. With my new job, I actually get opportunities to go visit some shows again. So I'll be able to pick up the Presleys and other stuff. Now, I really can't say where I am working because it is a smaller place and I'm not generally available to say hi to people. So, the best thing I can tell you is there is a code to figuring out where I work, but that's probably about the best I can tell you. It's not someplace I can, meet and greet people because I'm working long days, monitoring stuff in the back room and stuff. But
sure. So you couldn't escape from your job to talk to them.
No, I really can't escape from my job. Even if they had a code word to let me in, it just wouldn't work. But so let's see. So I think we've covered most of the questions. I'm looking. M Entertainment is asking crazy questions like this. What's the airspeed velocity of a latent swap? Oh, that would be fun. Okay, so any plans for 2024? So let me talk a little bit about 2023 and 2024 and what's coming up. I have mentioned a little bit that I am in the process of booking speaking engagements. Here you go, African American or European swallow. What I'm doing is we are actually in the process of raising up a network of partnership for us to be able to do something here in a couple of years out of the country. I don't have the freedom to share a whole lot of detail about that, but that's why we're booking speaking engagements to try to get that going. It is going to be a 1 to 2 year process to do that and to get everything put into place. So we're looking either next summer or the summer after, heading out of the country and spending a couple years learning language, learning culture, studying. Early plans, I can tell you this, are to actually produce another channel where I would talk about what it's like to live in that country as an American. So I can do that. As that approaches and stuff, and there's more put into place, I will talk more about it. But that's kind of where we're at with that. We do have some tentative plans for next summer. I believe the protagonist has given it the moniker, the Whip It Tour 2023.
I thought I had heard a Whip Quest 2023.
Oh, Whip Quest? Is that okay? So,
but, Whip It Tour, that's an interesting one. I've got my Devo hat over there. I could go grab my Power Dome.
Yeah.
And whip,
Yeah. So, yes, there is some plans for a trip next summer. It's not in stone yet because we have to wait and see if we're going to be doing this other thing or not, or how that works out. If we are not traveling internationally that summer, then the trip through Ohio and Pennsylvania will be on, and try to catch several different things. So some of the parks we visited last year, along with a couple new parks and stuff, and then eventually to end up in Columbus, Ohio for our church denominations big every other year convention conference, and we would actually be working at that. So that's kind of what's planned there, and a lot of it's going to be determined on if I get an opportunity to fly standby again so I can travel some, speaking engagements. If I do get an opportunity to go speak at a church or somewhere that actually has a park nearby, I will still try to do that. It's just trying to make everything work. So, but that's kind of where we're at. And as the time gets closer, we will get more details. I know Kennywood and Knoebels were on that list again, right?
When it was a longer list, yes. The current draft, they aren't. But
okay,
it depends on how much of the weekend is needed for Columbus.
Let's see. Dorney. So what else? What else was on that list?
So the draft list is Eldred's Park because they have an 1890s Loof carousel with a working ring feeder. Okay. Sylvan Beach Amusement Park because it has a rotor, doesn't have a whip, but I personally haven't been on a rotor since Geauga Lake's closed, and that would be fun. Playland Park in New York, which does have a whip. Dorney Park, which does have a whip. And Camden Park, which does have a whip.
And so New York would be new to me. I've actually never been to New York outside of the airport. And Camden Park would be new to me. So there's several new to me ones there. Tweetsy was asking, any updates on North Carolina Carowinds? I guess you missed that part. So with all the stuff that's happened this year, I haven't been able to make it. And then the opportunity I was having to fly standby, the person that was helping provide that has changed jobs. So I no longer have that opportunity. So right now we're kind of on hold. So I still want to, but we will see. And then we've got, how about Waldameer and Erie? Or Waldameer's in Ohio. Windermere is in Ohio. So we got Waldameer and Windermere. So the one you want to ask about that is the one there.
So I have not been to Waldameer and Erie, PA yet. I was thinking about going, but my schedule won't fit it. I
Yeah.
might try to go next June because it's about an hour and a half-ish drive for me. It's actually a little closer than Kennywood. I'm also closer to Cedar Point than Kennywood. And
Yeah.
back when Geauga Lake and SeaWorld were a thing, they were about a mile that way. So,
Yep.
but
So
those are long closed.
what we'll be doing with the trip next year is we're working it around possibly speaking at a church as part of that trip, and then getting to our big convention. So that's kind of our scheduling parameters, and that's all assuming that we're not like moving internationally for a year or two. So we will see how all that works. So okay, Dorney Park's whip is not that great. It's a whip.
It's a whip I haven't been on, so I'm sold at that.
Dorney was actually the very first whip I ever went on. So, yep. Yeah, it's just been a long time. Okay, so I'm going to unplug this real quick, and I'll give you all a couple quick updates as I go for a walk. So my lighting's going to get really weird along with the sound. Sorry. But we'll close out with this. So I'm going to hit downstairs and let you all see our lack of progress.
So is this the Blair Willow project?
Yeah, something like that. Ooh, my dog is like all excited. So we do have a date, August 8th. They're going to finally come in and do some work. And yes, now we're going to really get Blair Witch. Ah, don't hurt me. Okay, somebody actually turned off my light. Why did they do that? There we go. Look, there's light. Okay, so this is...
And Willow said, let there be light.
Yeah, so this is my future studio. And you can see it's a mess. It's a big mess. We've got torn apart wall there. We still have to tear apart ceiling. And if you can't see it, it's because the wall is actually bowing just a little bit, like 2 inches out. So August 8th, they are actually coming to put steel braces up, and they are ones that can be tightened and gradually push this thing back into place. After they get those put in, then we have to go through and put a whole new wall in. They actually are going to have to tear out that whole thing. So we've got to put a new wall in. We'll have to redo the ceiling. And then after that's done, then I can actually start figuring out flooring and getting myself a working studio.
So you need to push your wall back to the future? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that. Lots of potential water damage? No. We have one very small leak in the corner. I don't know if I can give you a look at this or not. See, all the stuff that my patrons have gotten. So this is stuff that they know about. This is how we discovered all this. There's a very, very small leak. Let's see, there. Right here. And so part of the rebuild is actually putting in a drainage system up above and redoing that, so that way it will pull all the water off and drain out another place, so we don't do that. But yeah, that's all coming up. So August 8th beams, and hopefully we can start getting the rebuild in here right afterwards. And then once we get that done, then we'll do the outside part immediately afterwards. I'm going to have to take out a small loan for it. Owning a house. Yay. So we are looking mid to towards the end of August to finally, hopefully, prayerfully have a studio. We're still looking actually another week and a half, 2 weeks with no internet. So yeah, fun stuff. But Crazy Mike, will they find Jimmy Hoffa when they take down the wall? They're not taking down the wall. They're bracing it back up. So
concerts, coasters, and Nitro. We were at Hershey last year on the PA tour.
Yeah. Yes. Trying
to see if there's anything else. Some other people are sympathizing with getting things fixed in basements.
Yes. But it's a mixed blessing. It really is. Our inspector completely missed it. I mean, totally missed it. he spotted the possible leak, but nothing else. But because of the type of loan that we got, if he had seen it, it would have immediately canceled the loan, which we would not have been happy with, because then I wouldn't have had this out here. We would have had a hard time having a house anyways, but when you step out of our back door, and you get this, and it's all woods. I love it. We wake up in the morning and there's deer out here, and all sorts of other stuff. I don't know if any of the bats are out right now. We do have bats that fly around in the evening, which is really cool. All sorts of animals. So we love the house. So yeah, we're kind of like, okay, yes, it's costing us more money, but man, we love this house. So yeah, it's a mixed blessing, but we'll take it.
Are you on the side with the cat enclosure now?
No, the cat enclosure. So I can walk over this way and I'll show you. This whole deck actually comes all the way out here, so you can see my retaining wall, which is where we need to route the drainage, because the drainage actually is up there. I don't know if you can see the cat enclosure from here or not. Okay, so if you look careful, it is right there. There we go. And that's the side door in the cat enclosure. So, but yeah, we need to put in a drainage system from up there to come down and out here instead of it draining down into the ground up there and causing the leak. So that's minor, but we still want to get it done so we don't have any more of this stuff.
Yeah, foundation water damage is bad.
Yeah, so, but there you all got a good look. Now my patrons have gotten a little more details and look than you did. So if you want to know more stuff like that, you got to join Patreon or YouTube member. But I try to keep them updated on stuff.
Or do both.
Or do both. Yeah, like a couple people have. You know.
What are you saying?
But, so I think that's everything, unless anybody else has any other questions that I missed. So, yeah. Oh, and Drew was a huge blessing. Drew came down and helped us move, so he can verify. He's seen it in person. It's gorgeous. You get up in the morning, you come down, you let the dog out, and you sit down and you have your coffee or your soda or whatever, and just enjoy it. Brendan has also been here. He got to see me try to kill him with fireworks on the 4th. And Megan. So this is another thing that happens when you are a member, is you get to know me a little bit more personally, and I get to know you, and they get access that other people don't. So, and I've built up some amazing friendships with some of my patrons. It's really been kind of cool. I have been very blessed with the people that I have gotten to know. So, and Brendan, run away. Oh, that firework was a story. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. Had this one that's not going to do anything. It's fine. And it still blows itself up and starts shooting at everybody. We're all running. But
so sorry I missed that.
Yeah, I wish somebody had videoed it. It was funny because nobody got seriously hurt. But yeah. So anyways, I think I will call it there. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for joining me. I see only 4 of you like to hit that like button for me. If you haven't subscribed, we are less than 700 subscribers away from 30,000. This was something I meant to say earlier. 30,000 subs. I've got shirts. I've got a Figment figure. I've got pins. I've got all sorts of stuff to give away when we hit 30,000. So if you haven't subbed, hit the sub button, push the videos out, share them out there. Let's get to 30,000, because I've got I'm excited about what I'm going to be doing, because it's not just prizes. I got some special clips I'll be showing and all sorts of other things. So help me get there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. Thank you, Craig, for joining and helping me sort of behave. Sort of.
And I've been knighted. Thanks, Tom.
Yep. So have a good evening. And if you missed some of the news, like Vicky mentioned, Vicky's asking, what bad news about Silver Dollar City? Talked about the first half. They lost a maintenance worker there. So not a whole lot known about it out there, but please pray for the people at Silver Dollar City. So And Mike, yep, 30,000 subs. You got a big Navy. Oh, you're going to sink me there, Mike. I know that. I just torpedoed that. Okay. On that note, have a good night, everybody.